Hey, just wanted to say welcome to Check-In Tuesdays. I'm Ramon Ray, as you probably know by now, founder of smarthustle.com. I'm so excited that you're here with me today on Check-In Tuesdays. We're going to have a great day, about 15 minutes where I get with you. And it's your time to ask me questions, ask me comments. Some days I'm thinking, I wonder, should I do this on Clubhouse where there's live two-way communication with anybody who wants to join? Or should I stick to Facebook? Who knows? I'd like to know what you think, but this is Check-In Tuesdays. And today I just wanted to talk about the power of relationships. All of us have relationships. All of us have people we ride with, we roll with. Of course, we have our family, our mothers, our fathers, our daughters, our sisters, our brothers, etc., our family. But beyond our family, there's the business relationships that we have. I can think of long time relationships I've had getting to know Adrienne Miller for so many years and the work she does at Adrienne's Network, Marsh and Beth and so many others that I've known for years. That's one relationship. Now, the past 1 or 2 years, I've gotten to know even more people on Clubhouse, Breakfast with Champions. Sarah McCord, Glenn Lundy, T.M. Hyman, Lolita, Marvin, Scott Simons, Candace, Alexander, and so many others. So we all have relationships. But here's the thing about relationships. All relationships are not equal. And let me rephrase that. Relationships can be and should be segmented. There's relationships you have with your customers. People who it's relatively transactional, they have a need, you have a solution, they pay you for that solution. You have another type of relationship. People who have the solution to what you need. You pay them, they provide their solution to you. And then you have other relationships with like joint ventures, JV, not even joint ventures, just comradeship. I think of my boy Jess Toddfield or Gene Stafford. We've gotten to know each other through our mutual affiliation with NSA, National Speaker Association. But those are a different type of relationship. We don't pay each other money, but we roll together and see how we can uplift each other because we're on a common journey. I think of my team. Jamie Freier's been with me for 5 years. I think we've crossed the path of just being transactional vendor and client. We are that, but we're friends. We're friends. We care about each other. Think of the new member of the team, Costatine, and so many others on the Smart Hustle team, Sandeep as well. So we all have different kinds of relationships, one kind or another. And I think it's important we have to understand what type of that relationship. We have relationships with the transactional, just vendor and client. We have relationships with the cross mutual, people who can mutually pour into us and help us along our journey. We have relationships with people who are more mentor and mentee, people who maybe are more junior or new in their journey, and we can help them in some way. They can help us some way. So we all have relationships, but what we do with those relationships, how we evaluate those relationships are different. The priority of those relationships, especially in business, let's face it, if you have a relationship with the proverbial Oprah Winfrey, and she can help make you a multi-billion-dollar influencer, which will help your family and your friends, you may want to put that relationship possibly more priority than somebody who's a high school friend and you guys just have drinks or something like that on the weekend, right? Two different relationships. So it's important to evaluate, and now you want to remember, because someone's only just a friend who you may have a sandwich with and a bottle of soda, that doesn't mean you ignore it. Because all relationships are relationships, that human-to-human connection. But I'm just saying at least you segmented. Me and my son have a relationship. Me and my daughter have a relationship. Me and my wife have a relationship. And all relationships are different. All relationships have different things you get from it and different things you give to them. So it's real important to understand, how do you evaluate your relationships. By the way, if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you have a question for me, just put it in the chat, put it in the comment. I'll see it live and I'll do my best to answer it if you have a question for me. One thing I also want to touch on is the aspect of S Corp versus LLC. I recently changed Smart Hustle Media from a LLC to an S Corp. And I did this for this reason. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant, nothing like that. But I'm just sharing with you an experience I went through. And S Corp is great, I find, because an LLC is simpler and has passed through all the money you get in. It passes through right to you and you're taxed on it. But here's the rub. Let's say your business makes $500,000 of gross revenue. And let's say it makes $400,000 of profit. But let's say you only pay yourself $100,000. What does this mean? You have to pay $400,000 in taxes, to the IRS, instead of just paying on what you paid yourself. So that's a simplistic differentiation between S Corp and LLC. And so that's something I recently did, and I'm so glad I did it. So listen, it's 3:05. This is Check-In Tuesdays. Just a few minutes where I get together and pour into you and see how I can help you grow your business. And I want to remind you, relationships are important. Yes. But you have to segment and evaluate the type of relationship you're in. And last but not least, remember the power of what kind of business corp you're in. business entity you're in. That's very important as well. So I hope that's been important to you. If you have a question, if you have something you want to ask me, I'll be live for just a few more minutes, and then we'll close Check-In Tuesdays with Ramon Ray, where it's my time just to pour into a nugget, let you know what's going on in my world, give you a bit of information that may help you grow your business or take it to the next level. We've talked about the power of building relationships. We talked the power of S Corp versus LLC, and I hope that's been helpful for you. By the way, one thing I've been thinking of, I believe I'm going to produce a show called $10,000 in 10 days, a contestant show giving people $10,000 in cash towards the start of their business, and also the products and services they may need, web development service, marketing services to help take their business to the next level. 10 people will vie, I should say, over a period of 10 days. It could be more than that, but over 10 days, and we'll get down to one winner who will win the jackpot, maybe 2 or 3 other follow-up winners. So I'm thinking of producing a show like that. I'd be curious if you're hearing the sound of my voice, what you think of that. So listen, this is Check-In Tuesdays. I know people are listening live, people are listening afterwards, and that's fine. I'm going to close this down right now. I just want to be faithful to you all, make that space as we do Check-In Tuesdays, where you can have a discussion with Ramon Ray. So with that, thank you for listening. It's January 1st. Hannah Perry, thank you, Hannah, for chatting and joining in. I'm chewing on it, Hannah, but I think I'm going to go forth and do it. I appreciate exactly. Motivation to business startups is exactly right. That's Hannah Perry. Thank you, Hannah, for being here. It always brings a smile to my heart and my face seeing the name Hannah Perry in my feed. You too, dear. Appreciate it very much. So with that, thanks for joining in on Check-In Tuesdays. I'm Ramon Ray. Thanks for being in Smart Hustle Nation. This is exclusively for you, Check-In Tuesdays. So with that, I'm going to roll. Let me know what you think, whether you're listening to this live like the amazing Hannah Perry did, or whether you're listening to this on demand after the fact. With that, adios. Thank you so much for listening, and let me know what you think as we do another Check-In Tuesdays. Boom, 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 boom. Bye-bye.